So, hello Maeya TV, my name is Eligia, I'm your host as usual. Today I am with actor and singer Ruben Roberto Gomez, who we're very excited to have in the house because he's got so many words of wisdom. And we're going to talk about his life and sort of his upcoming project. So, how are you, Ruben?
Oh, I'm fine now that I'm here with you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We got to debrief a little bit and talk about his life, and I'm so excited to get to know you in front of the camera a little bit better.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's start with where you grew up and what made you want to get into the entertainment industry.
I grew up in Argentina, and I wanted to be an actor since I was maybe 5 years old. And so when I was 16, I became an actor in Argentina. And for 3 years, I did several things there in acting. But I always wanted to come to Hollywood. And so then with a friend of mine, which were friends in high school, decided that we would come to the United States at 19. You have to be a little bit crazy to try to do that, but we did it. We didn't have friends, we didn't have money, we didn't speak the language, we didn't have family. We came anyway. And it's a long story, but coming like that, teaches you a lot of things. I learned a lot. Of course, I still wanted to be an actor, but I had to substitute, I had to pay for rent and eat. So there was a time when 7 guys lived in a small apartment. That's not very comfortable, but it was like that.
Yeah. Was there any influences you had when you were growing up? Like any movies, whether they were in Argentina or American movies that you liked?
You know, to be honest with you, yes, but what happened with me was that I liked to be an actor so much. And we had so many movies from the United States in Argentina. And also, because there were many Italians in Argentina, a lot of Italian movies. So I would go to the movies even by myself, not with friends. So I can tell you names of movies that most people don't even remember. Some very famous movies with very famous actors, because I saw them. There is one. There was an actor named Cary Grant. Cary Grant was my idol. I wanted to dress like him. I wanted to be tall like him. Well, I couldn't be that because he was taller. But yes, I liked him. He was an actor that could do anything. Any part, any role he could play.
So you moved in with, you said six other guys here?
Yes, because none of us had money, none of us had family. Just like me and my friend came, other guys came from other countries in Latin America. And we all kind of met in the street, here and there. So everybody's complaining that we don't have jobs, what do we do? So 1 out of the 7 had a job, so he rented an apartment and we all went to live in that apartment. But it was a small apartment, so little by little we got little jobs here and there.
Yeah. One of your jobs, though, led to you sort of in the industry. You got to meet some people, right? Can you tell us about this?
I was super lucky. I think that my friends in Argentina probably wouldn't have believed it, but through one of my roommates, I got a job as a busboy. A busboy is somebody that works in a restaurant or a coffee shop, somewhere like that, helping, cleaning the tables, bringing coffee. Well, I got a job as a busboy in a hotel that exists today. The hotel is the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills. And there was a restaurant there named Rendezvous Room. It was a very fancy, expensive restaurant. And also, they had the International Ballroom, which the Oscars had all their parties there. So when I started working, within a few days, they had a huge party with all these movie stars. The guys walking around, coming in and out of the bathroom, all in tuxedos, and all these girls with these dresses. And I was like, oh, I know her, I know him, because I had seen so many movies. And there were actors from every age. So that inspired me. I thought it was, I don't know, I thought it was the gods that put me there because I wanted to be an actor. So that was an incredible experience to work. There was a girl that at a table that asked me something that I saw she wanted coffee. I didn't speak English, but I understood the word coffee. So I brought her coffee. She said, no, no. And she kept talking and talking, and I didn't know what she was saying. So I found out from the waiter, no, she doesn't want more coffee, she wants a clean cup of coffee. But she was telling me that and I didn't know what she was asking, so I knew I needed to learn English fast.
There was another person you met that also, you said you used what
Oh.
you knew a little bit of English?
I knew more by then, yes. Nancy Sinatra, the daughter, I met her in Las Vegas. How did I meet her in Las Vegas? There was an Argentine boxer that was boxing an American boxer there, and we got to go to the locker room where the boxers were changing, and Nancy Sinatra Jr. was married to a singer, very famous singer, Tom Sands, and he was a friend of the other boxer. So Nancy and I found ourselves waiting outside, the two of us alone.
Yeah.
So we started talking with my poor English. She helped me, she gave me her business card. She wrote something in there that I couldn't read, and she signed. She said, you know, my father owns half of the Warner Brothers studios with Mr. Warner. My father's name is Frank Sinatra. Do you know Frank Sinatra? I said, of course I know Frank Sinatra. I have most of his records in Argentina.
Yeah.
So I went to the studio.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going to happen. I moved this, showed it to the security guard outside. Okay, so I just went. So what that did for me was that I could go in the studio and walk around and see things. And of course, they were shooting everywhere. So I was just watching. And I went to the cafeteria.
Yeah.
Even in the cafeteria, there were famous people. It was a great place for me to be.
Yeah, lots of inspiration everywhere, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I want to talk about also your love of music because you're also a singer. How did that start? Did you know you had a talent?
Actually, I discovered I had a talent when I was about 15 years old with two other boys. One of them played the guitar, and I liked to sing. I never had lessons, so we used to sing. I used to sing, and the three of us played. I always wanted to sing, but when I was in California, when I was here already, I met through another friend, producer. Eric Pullen was a Chilean music producer here. And I told him that I was from Argentina, I wanted to do a record and stuff like that. So he took me to his studio, we recorded something and he loved it. He says, okay, we're gonna do an LP and this and the other. I know people, we're gonna go to Chile to the El Festival de Viña. And that's how I started singing. And I went to South America. And then I eventually, when I had the record label representing me, I went to Europe and I performed at some very famous, nice clubs. And I went to a university in Sweden where one of my songs had become the #1 at the university. And it was a dancing song, really nice. And so the students invited me to a nightclub. And I went and they played my song. And so everybody was dancing, so it was fantastic.
That's amazing. I've heard that thing where actors want to be musicians and musicians want to be actors, but you got to do both, right?
I got to do both,
Yeah.
but what happened was that at one time or another, I decided, because acting was more what I wanted to do, that I could not dedicate the time to be a singer. You just can't do both, really. It's hard. So I stopped singing professionally. I still like to sing, and I keep my voice, and just in case, once in a while I use it, doing things.
And sometimes it overlaps, right? You can do it in a film or something, right?
It happened to me that I was able to, in a commercial years ago, because they knew I was singing, that I sang, to sing something. There was, at the time there was an Argentine tennis player, a girl, who was doing a commercial, and I played her father. And she liked this song, and I sang it for her. Well, she was when she was changing before playing tennis and going out, she heard me and she saw me, and it was like I wasn't there, but I was there, singing this song. So I got to get paid for singing.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible. I think a musical will be in the works for you, hopefully.
Oh, I would do anything. You know, I like to work. I
Yeah,
really do.
acting and music, that's incredible. Let's talk about some of your past projects that you talked to me about. Can you tell me about Decker and what that led to?
Do you mean where I ended up being in an animated movie?
Yes, I want to know about that.
Yes. Well, I got to know this director and producer who had a television series. He was in a television series. And I worked with him for several episodes. And then he decided that he wanted to have this television series in animated. You know, in animated.
Yeah.
So they did it in animated. And so what we had to do was record our voices. And one of the things that Dracula does is, Dracula has a very funny nose, laugh, you know. So we had to do that. So what happened is that he did the animated and we having a screening, all kinds of people were there watching it for the first time. And people started noticing that the 7 characters, the main lead characters, in the animated, they all had real faces. So when Dracula appears there, I look at it and everybody goes, "Look, Ruben, he looks like you." So that was amazing because I was Dracula, but kind of like looked like me. So that was something interesting to do.
Yeah, so it's more than just your voice, it's you too.
Yes.
That's incredible. Do you play the bad guy a lot?
Well, it just happens that several times that I've been asked to play the dog,
Like a gangster type of thing?
the drug lord.
The drug lords.
Oh yes, I play the drug lord and I can be really mean.
Oh yeah.
And my wife says to me, "Remember, smile all the time because when you're serious, people think you're mad, that you're upset because you don't look friendly."
Yeah.
No? Well, what do you think?
It's a little. I feel like he could be scary. You're such a kind man, but I'm like, maybe he could be really scary.
Well, we cannot pretend, you know.
Yeah. A similar project. So you did that because of Decker. You met some people on Decker, but you also did Dexter, right?
Yeah, Dexter was very interesting because I was watching that show. I followed it. It was, honey, what an interesting show that was. So yes, I got to play with Dexter we were all playing golf and I was a golfer, you know, playing golf. I don't know how to play golf, but I can pretend really well. Yeah.
That's great. And with these jobs, do you tend to work with people that you meet through these projects, or do you have an agent that you've been with a couple of years?
Yes, I have a theatrical agent. He's in New York, but he works with Los Angeles too. And I have a commercial agent here, where I think he only has two actors in this agency that are Latins, like me. So whenever they need Latins for commercials, chances are that we can get a job. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so with those projects, I know you have one of your own, right? Because you're also sort of working with your wife, right?
See, my wife. My wife is an actress. She's a writer. She directed a movie that you can see today. It's called The Remake, and you can see it in Amazon Plus.
Oh, that's amazing.
She and I are the main leads, of course.
Yeah.
So she writes scripts. She's a writer too. And she wrote one in which both of us are in the movie, of course. But right now we are in talks with a production company in Buenos Aires, in Argentina, because the movie takes part in Argentina, in Buenos Aires and Los Angeles. So I love that story. It's a really nice story. It's kind of like a romantic story with people my age and younger people. Like my granddaughter is like 18 years old in the movie, you know. So that's what we're working on now, and we're excited because she wrote it, and we like the idea of seeing something that we do together, and we play together. We've done several commercials together. Yeah, because you know my wife is taller than me a little bit. She's really blonde.
She's beautiful. I saw pictures. She's so pretty.
She looks very American, you know. And then who's the guy? He's their husband. Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know.
it's
So
great together.
nowadays when you see commercials, diversity is all over the place.
Yeah.
So they'd like to see the two of us. And because we're both actors, we're able to do some commercials. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. Did you meet on a set? Is that how you met?
No, I met in college. You know, I went to college here.
Yeah.
I graduated from UCLA with a master's degree in Spanish literature and Italian, because I speak Italian and I sing in Italian. I met my wife in one of the classes. The problem was that she was 18. And I fell in love 3 days after I met her. So 1 week after, I asked her to marry me. And she started laughing, just like that, like you.
Yeah.
And she said, no, I'm very young, I want to have a life and I want to do things. And she said, and I said, so what do we do? She said, well, you have to wait a little.
Yeah.
So I waited a whole month. And then I asked her again. I thought a month was a long time. She said, no, we have to wait. So we dated for 4 years. We didn't even live together. So after the 4 years, we got married.
Oh, that's amazing. I think she wanted to. She was just like, I want to do these other things.
You know, she told me at 18, she said, you know, I think I love you too, but I cannot marry you right now.
Oh, that's beautiful. And you work together, and that's amazing. Yeah.
We're lucky that we can work together.
Yeah.
It's something that we really enjoy. Yeah.
So this new project, it's called Partners, right?
Yes.
So you and your wife are partners, right?
Yeah.
But it has sort of roots to your culture too, right? Because there's the tango in it.
Yes, and that's why we are very interested and excited about. Because tango is a type of music that around the world, except the United States, is really very popular. And people know what a tango is. So it's a story that takes a girl who wants to be a ballet dancer. She's American. The grandfather is Argentine, well-known singer from Argentina. He says, okay, you graduated from high school. Why don't we go for a month to Argentina, to Buenos Aires? You've never been there, I take you. And you can take tango lessons. You can learn about tango and learn how to dance tango, besides ballet.
Yeah.
And the story goes, we go to Buenos Aires, and she starts doing this, she starts liking it, and then there is a young guy there that I don't like very much, you know,
Yeah.
and the grandfather.
That's amazing. So you're sort of in you have the script and you're looking to work
yeah.
with.
Yeah, she wrote the script, and it's already, like, the first thing she did was get the copyright, and the Writers Guild of America, you have to be a member. So yes, we protect the scripts.
Protect your art,
Yeah.
always. That's incredible. Oh my goodness. Is there any other projects that you think you have a good story of you learned something along the way? Because I know you did a lot of things singing. Did you do live performance as well?
Oh yes, I did live performances abroad. They invited me in Sweden, in Stockholm, to a private club that I had never heard of, but then I found out that it was well known, only super millionaires went to that place, and it was called Valentino, and I went there all the way there to perform. I went to Chile, I went to Argentina, I went to southern France. Yes, I sang in different places, and I still like it, I miss it.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
I do.
incredible. Oh, that's amazing. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to be a young performer that, or maybe they're starting for the first time, that you learned maybe the hard way, that you can save them a little time?
You know, I think so. I didn't think that I would have advice, but actually I've learned a lot. But first I want to tell you something. When I was very young, I met a very famous actor at Warner Brothers, and I asked him for help, and he said, Ruben, I'm going to give you advice. Don't ever ask for help from another actor. An actor is not going to help you. You need a director, a producer, or a casting director. And it's true, even today. But what I think is something that the young people, if they do it, it would help a lot. You need to have something else that you can do or you know how to do, because you need to support yourself. Unless you have parents or somebody that's supporting you. So you need, the reason I went to university is because I found out that as an actor, it might take me a long time to become an actor, and I needed to work, I needed to know something else. So I would say that if you want to be an actor, don't give up. Never, never give up. Even at my age, I don't give up. Don't give up. But think that you need to do and learn other things too, so that when it's necessary to make a living about something, you can do it and you can support yourself. Like, unless you have rich parents, you know, and they support you.
Is there a skill you learned on a set that, for like a movie or something, that you still continue on? I know you said you can fake play golf really well, right? But
Play what?
You can play golf on the screen, but is there anything you learned on set that you continue to do? Like you said, like, I mean, you worked you bake and you can cook and stuff, right?
You know, I like to cook.
Yeah.
It's a hobby. And several years ago, I did something that was so much fun. I was invited in Telemundo. They used to have a show, Cooking with the Stars.
Well, I've seen that, yeah.
And so they invited me as the special actor to cook. And I chose something really easy, very easy, but they wanted you to do something easy because you don't really get to cook much in the show. So I did a 7-layer dip, but from scratch. But I did one at home that my wife helped me make, so it looked pretty, so that we could show that at the last. But it was a lot of fun, because after we did it and we put it together, and we finished, and you said, "Rob," then everybody got to eat what I prepared. So the whole crew and the actors and everybody, we finished that dip right away.
Yeah. It was first choice out of all the food you had.
Nothing else to eat except that.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's incredible. That's really nice. And we were talking about like dishes too. Do you have a favorite dish from Argentina?
See, there is something called, of course, Americans don't know, but they would probably know about Anita, because what I like is an Argentine dish that comes from the Italians. It's called Milanesa, breaded veal cut with a fried egg on top, served with French fries. It's a very typical thing that you order in a restaurant in Argentina, especially when you don't have a lot of money, because then you go to other places. But I like to cook, and that's one of my favorite dishes. Now, my wife is not Argentine, but we've been together so long. She can cook anything from Argentina. She's a great cook. And she speaks like an Argentine.
Yeah.
You know what happened to me? I went to dinner with some people in some house. There were like 10 people at the table.
Yeah.
And somebody at the table asked me, we were speaking Spanish. And somebody at the table asked me, "And where are you from?" And I said, "What do you mean where I'm from? I'm from Argentina." And they thought, and this guy says, "Oh, they told us that an Argentine person was coming, but we didn't think you speak like an Argentine." She speaks like an Argentine. My wife.
Yeah.
My wife is not Argentine,
Yeah.
but she got the accent so well. I kind of lost mine, I think, maybe.
So you work together, and when you go home, is there still work talk, or you leave it on the set?
No, we work talk.
Oh, yeah.
We're always talking, because
Yeah.
if we're not, you know, now, for the last 3 years, auditions are not in person anymore. They are self-taped.
Yeah.
So what my wife also is an artist, she paints, and she has a studio at home. So what we did is, we kind of fixed the studio for shooting. So we do our self-tapes in our house, of course. So we're always talking to her about something regarding work. Because she's like me, you know, she likes to work. And she works a lot more than I do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's interesting, two artists, right? Sometimes it doesn't work, it conflicts, you know, but it seems to be working, so.
You know what, I think, we talk about this. My wife and I work in the same industry. So, we know what we're talking about when she says something and I say something. If I come home all excited, like I did a commercial 2 days ago, and I want to tell her all about it, she understands what I'm talking about. But if my wife was a teacher or a banker or something else, it's not the same. She's going to get bored after me talking for 2 hours about it.
Yeah.
You know? So in a way, I think that for us it's better that we can discuss and cry on each other's shoulders when something bad happens. or when something is good.
Yeah. So I think that's a good way to segue into your film, and hopefully it all goes well and it's good and it's not a crying thing.
Thank you, thank you.
And so where can we check out your projects? Are you active on socials?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm very social,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in Instagram and Facebook every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And I put pictures, and I forgot to tell you, I love dogs.
Oh,
And I have a dog, I have a Shih Tzu.
okay.
And I love my wife, but I also love Samantha very much. And she knows it.
Mhm.
So you're gonna see pictures of me with Samantha
Yeah.
in either Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we want to check out Samantha or your upcoming projects,
Yes.
is it just your name? Is it just that Ruben Roberto? Yeah.
Sí, Ruben
Yeah.
Roberto Gomez.
Okay, so check that out. Check out his future project coming. It's still in the works, but it was so lovely to have you here.
It was a pleasure, and this is very, very nice. I really enjoy myself.
Yeah,
Yes.
we really get to talk to a lot of cool people and so many words of wisdom from you. So.
Well, you know, you're friendly. You have all the qualities you need to do what you're doing. So I am very lucky that I happen to be here with you.
Thank you. You make my job very easy, okay? I'd like to thank everyone at Maeya TV for watching, and we hope you stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye. Adios.